7 National News with Ross Simon.
Seven Nightly News with Susie Elliman.
7 Nightly News with Roger Clemson and Ann Sanders.
7 Nightly News with Roger Clemson.
Ross Simon. 7 Nightly News. 7 Nightly News with Ann Sanders. 7 Nightly News with Ross Simons.
With Ann Sanders and Ross Simons, this is 7 News. With Ross Simons and Ann Sanders, this is 7 News. With Ann Sanders and Ross Simons, this is 7 News. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. From our new studio in the heart of Sydney, this is 7 News with Ian Ross. With Ann Sanders, this is 7 News. With Ian Ross, this is 7 News. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. This is 7 News with Samantha Armitage. This is 7 News with Chris Barth. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. This is 7 News with Samantha Armitage. This is 7 News with Chris Barth. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. This is 7 News with Chris Barth. This is 7 News with Matthew White. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. This is 7 News with Ian Ross. This is 7 News with Chris Reason. This is 7 News with Mark Ferguson. Live from the Royal Easter Show, this is 7 News with Chris Barth. This is 7 News with Chris Barth. This is 7 News with Natalie Barr. This is 7 News with Mark Ferguson. National 9 News with Mark Ferguson. National 9 News with Mike Munro. National 9 News with Mike Munro.
This is National 9 News with Peter Irvin. This is National 9 News with Mike Munro. This is National 9 News with Mark Ferguson. This is 9 News with Mark Ferguson.
This is 9 News with Michael Usher. This is 9 News with Peter Overton.
This is 9 News with Peter Overton. This is 9 News with Mark Ferguson. This is 9 News with Georgie Gardner. This is 9 News with Peter Overton. This is 9 News with Georgie Gardner.
10 News with Ron Wilson and Ann Paul.
This is the 10 Eyewitness News with Katrina Lee and John Mangon. First at 5, 10 News with Ron Wilson and Jessica Rowe. First at 5, 10 News with Ron Wilson and Jessica Rowe.
10 News with Ron Wilson and Jessica Rowe. With Ron Wilson and Deborah Knight. 10 News with Ron Wilson and Deborah Knight.
Good evening, I'm Deborah Knight.
And I'm Bill Woods.